Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Bull and Bear Show, the Labor Day edition, coming to you from the South Coast Repertory in Orange County. Just saw a fantastic show once, but I've seen it twice. Actually, I saw it on Broadway and I saw it tonight, and let me tell you something, sometimes you need to go see the local talent put on the show because they actually do a better job than they do on Broadway. And it was a fantastic show. If you haven't taken that special someone out to a night at the live theater and listened to a lead man strum his guitar and sing a song, sing on the stage, singing his heart out. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to pour our heart out in the next 3 to 4 minutes to talk about the top 3 things: this week's bull, this week's bear, and this week's steer. But we got to get back inside his heart out. I had a glass of Glenfiddich in my hand. I mean, that's a true Irish night. And did I mention that I recently found out that my mom is 52% Irish? That makes me Irish, that's right. Call me if you want to know, ancestry.com, thank you very much. Don't buy the stock, but buy the DNA test. And to speak of the Irish, did you see what the Fighting Irish did on Saturday night? 49-16. An absolute beatdown of the Temple Owls. But that's enough of that. Let's get to this week's edition of the Bull and the Bear Show. The bull this week is gold, the bear oil in the entire refining complex, and this week's steer is fear. All right, let's talk about gold a little bit. Big breakout today, the day after Labor Day. Gold was up big, 1346 on the board. Gold is up at least 14% year to date. And that's a big move. It's definitely bullish trend right now, and it's breaking out on why? Because of North Korea? Yeah, a little bit, but that's not really the real story. The bottom line is this: what does gold like? Gold likes falling inflation, which is what we've seen. Gold likes a weak dollar. Dollar's down 9% year to date. Gold likes falling bond rates. When you have falling inflation, weak dollar, lower yields, you have gold up. That's exactly what we have. Gold up 14% year to date. And if you have the miners, there's a kicker above that. Oil, that's the bear for the week. Oil's down 14% year to date. That's right, gold up 14, oil down 14. See, bull up, bear down. There you go. That's the simple addition, right? Here's the deal with oil. It was up a little bit today after Hurricane Harvey has kind of moved through. But the bottom line is this: 22% of oil production is shut in right now. 15% of refining production is shut in. We have cargo tankers sitting in the Gulf trying to pick up a load that they can't pick up because there's nothing to pick up. Don't worry about any of the oil stats that come out for the next 2 weeks, because there's really no way to know what's happening in the oil complex for the next 2 weeks. But the reason oil's down on this is because when you can't run a refinery, they don't need oil. So if they don't need oil, price of oil goes down. On top of that, the feds released like 5 million barrels from the strategic reserve. And so when you got the feds dumping oil on the market, what happens? The price of oil goes down. That's why oil is the bear for the week. Bear's down, bull's up, right? The steer this week is fear though, right? There's a lot of fear. I mean, there's been kind of fear. The bottom line is the media tries to create a narrative of fear pretty much every day so they can sell newspapers and clicks to their webpage. But the fear has really not been backed up by the hard data. Remember that soft data, hard data number story that we had earlier this year? The bottom line is that we had an all-time high in the NASDAQ on Friday, 64.28, right? And that's the reason why markets pulled back a little bit today, because we touched the all-time high. We were within 1 point of the all-time high on the S&P, 2479, I think, 2480 is the all-time high. So yeah, we had a correction, we had a pullback, but it was a pullback from the all-time high. So there's a lot of fear in the headlines, but the bottom line is the market is strong. Why is the market strong? It's not because of the hurricane, it's not because of the North Koreans, it's not because of racists or fascists, it's not because of any of that. The reason why the market is strong is because last week we just printed 3% on the GDP number. That's right. We just printed a 76-month high in the manufacturing numbers. That's right, 76 months. Those are not steer numbers, those are bull numbers, by the way. and corporate profits up 7% year over year. That's real money. When corporations make money, stocks go up. That's why we had all-time high in the NASDAQ, nearly an all-time high in the S&P. So there's the Bull and Bear Show for the week. Stay tuned for the next segment, which is going to be an interview with a couple of the cast members from a great show, Once. Find yourself a date, go and see it. You're going to like it. See you next week. Evening and welcome to our special segment of the Bull and the Bear Show. We have a very special guest tonight. We're here at the South Coast Repertory. We just saw the musical Once, a great Broadway show, and we have a special guest tonight, Zach Spound.
Am I the bull or the bear?
You, I think tonight you were the steer in the show.
Sure.
Zach, tell us, what is it like to play a death metal drummer in an Irish folk show?
Well, I mean, you know, it's, as an actor, you put yourself in a given set of circumstances, and, you know, every show that you do, it's basically you, but in a different set of circumstances. So what it would be like to be me, and once that's a technical answer to the question. The other answer to the question is you just, you know, you just drink and stuff comes out, and then it's great.
Right.
I'm kidding, I never drink before the show.
Now speaking of drinking though, you do drink a lot of coffee in one part of the show. You at least say that you...
Trent's is very caffeinated, yeah, that's
right.
that's his big thing.
So is it really caffeine or is it really drugs?
I'll tell you a story. When I was in college, I played another part that drank a lot of coffee, and I actually visibly did it on stage, but they put in real coffee one night instead of decaf, and I was actually wired for the entire 8 o'clock show until the fact that I couldn't remember my lines, so I'm just using sense memory from that, really, right. And to kind of draw on this experience, right. Which is, I mean, if you do drink too much coffee, it is like a speedball, kind of, you know, right. Which I've never done, but...
Well, here's a trivia question, Zach. True or false? On Broadway, for the running of the show Once,
Stephen Sondheim.
They served alcohol from the bar to the patrons at intermission.
Well,
that's true.
Sure.
That's true, yeah.
They do the same thing.
But they didn't do it at intermission. They did it, I guess, before the show, but they didn't do it at intermission.
Orange County, man. That's
I know.
all I can say, man.
Well, they rolled sidewalks up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
what can I
Missed
say?
everybody listening to Andy.
Well, thanks very much.
No worries.
Zach,
Hey,
enjoy
man.
the run. Great show tonight.
Hey,
We got another special guest from the cast of Once. We have Nicholas Mongiardo Cooper.
Hi there.
And Nicholas, what role did you play? What was the name of the character?
I play Billy, who owns the music shop where he allows the girl to come in and play on the piano because he finds her so absolutely magnetic.
Right. Now you have a deep melodramatic voice, but I detect no accent here after the show. How did you acquire that very convincing accent for the stage?
Well, we have a spectacular gentleman named Phil Thompson who came in with incredible dialect expertise and taught us all how to talk that way. It helps to, I have a lot of family from the British Isles, and it helps to sort of use your ear and work that way, but honestly, there's no substitution for great coaching.
Right.
So our dialect coach was quite exceptional.
Okay, very good, because you sounded great on the stage. You got quite Irish angry, very nice.
Thank you.
You know, they do call them the Fighting Irish.
Yes,
for a reason.
yeah, our director gave me permission to sort of go off the rails in that scene, so I really went for it. So
yeah, that was great.
I'm glad it was effective.
Another question, are you, now this is a touring show here at the South Coast Repertory. Are you a local artist, or are you...
I live in Los Angeles,
Excellent.
so we're actually just here for the 4 weeks of the run here, and then it's done.
Okay.
So
you got that people 4 weeks, and you got to get down here.
Yeah, and tickets are going quickly from what I've been told, because even the company, we're having trouble getting our friends and family in, so that means that tickets are going very quickly.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Make sure you get down and see a run of the show. Good night.